Hola and welcome. I am super excited to share today's recipe with you. We are going to be making my mom's special homemade roasted salsa recipe, starting right now. Since this salsa has such limited number of ingredients, it really counts what ingredients you use. So my mom always starts with Roma tomatoes for the base. You can use the bigger hothouse juicy tomatoes, but these Roma tomatoes are a little bit more fleshy, so they make for a better texture for your salsa. Optional, you can use a small chunk of onion. You really don't need a lot, maybe like a 1 to 2 inch section. And then some garlic as well, anywhere from 1 to 3 cloves. Now for the spice elements for your chiles, I am using 2 jalapeño peppers. These are not too spicy, especially if you take out the seeds. And then I also have 2 serrano peppers here. These are spicy. Don't let the small size fool you. These are 3 to 4 times spicier than your jalapeños. Start with 1 of each if you're not too sure about your spice level, but I tested this out and I thought 2 of each was perfect. At the end, we're gonna add some fresh cilantro for a nice fresh contrast, and then just a little bit of salt to season, and that's literally all that has to go into this salsa. To get the maximum flavor, we are going to roast all of our veggies. In a non-stick skillet, I'm gonna roast all of my tomatoes. We're gonna put the skillet on medium to medium-high heat, and you just wanna make it so that it will char on the different sides of the tomatoes. So every few minutes we will check on these and turn them around so that they get evenly roasted and charred. And over here on my second pan, I'm gonna go ahead and roast my peppers. We're also gonna do that on medium-high heat. We're gonna roast that onion and the garlic. My mom is like super adamant about roasting the garlic for the salsa because she does not like raw garlic, and frankly I don't either. So this is gonna really give our vegetables some nice char. We want to see a little bit of color on them. So we're gonna check on these again in a few minutes and I'll show you what we're looking for. Let's go ahead and check on our tomatoes, and you can see they're starting to get charred on the first side. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give them a flip. Yeah, see, that's what we want. So now that we flipped them, we'll go ahead and let them char on this next side for a few minutes. All right, let's check over here on our other veggies. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, ooh, our onions looking nice and grilled. Ooh, be sure to keep a careful eye on the garlic cloves because those are small. By the way, it's totally normal if your vegetables start doing like a little wiggle dance in the pan or making popping sounds. Don't freak out. That's just them doing their thing, getting their party on. That's what we want. We want happy vegetables in this salsa. All right, let's take a look. Our onions look really nicely grilled. I'm gonna go ahead and take those off of the heat and set them aside. And our garlic has charred really well too. If you come here and get a close look, you'll see it's got some nice black spots on the outside of the garlic. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna toss in the garlic into just a simple little plastic produce bag that's gonna help steam it and make the skins easier to peel off of the garlic. Our serrano peppers are very charred, which is great. I'm gonna take those off the heat as well, put them into our little produce bag to steam along with the garlic. They're gonna be buddies in there, and that's just gonna help to kind of soften up the skins of our serrano peppers. These tomatoes are looking really good. Now that I've got some color pretty much on all sides, I'm just gonna attempt to stand them up, get a little char action on the bottom. But you know, if it's too much trouble, it's all good as long as you get a good amount of color on most of the sides. There we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and take our jalapeños off the heat. I'm gonna put those to the side, put them in our little steamy produce bag here. All right, and we're just gonna let them steam for a few minutes while our tomatoes finish up doing what they gotta do. Okie dokes, our tomatoes are char city now. We're gonna go ahead and take these off the heat. Better have some good tongs for this. I do recommend having a good non-stick pan for the tomatoes because as they char and get a little juicy, gets a little bit of charred bits in the pan, you can also collect some of that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. This is like a little treasure. That charred tomato skin. All right, let's open up our little bag of fun in here. We're gonna take out the garlic cloves so that we can peel them. There we go. Set those peppers aside for now. Let's take the peels off of these garlic cloves. They got very soft and roasted on the pan. I'm going to start with just, I'd say 2 tomatoes in the blender with the garlic and the onions. And I'm gonna blend these up together first, just to really make sure that the garlic and onion are well incorporated into it. And here we go. Okay, wait, I need a special tool. You're not gonna make this completely liquidy, but just around a medium speed. Okay, that's a good start. All right, now that I'm sure that the onion and garlic have incorporated well into that initial mix, I'm gonna add the rest of my tomatoes, clear some space. All right, now let's take out our spicy peppers from the bag. They've softened up quite a bit in there. Now, chef's choice. If you want it spicy, you can just cut off the tops and leave all the seeds in there. Okay, be warned, but we want ours to be a good medium heat. So I am going to slice these serrano peppers down the middle and scrape out as many of the seeds as we can. Now remember, the serranos are the spicier of the 2 peppers, and the seeds are what carry the most amount of heat. So if you're not sure that you can handle it, I would say scrape them out, and you can always taste your salsa and add some back in if you're brave. Okay, so cleaned out our first pepper. If you don't get every single seed out, it's not really a big deal. Okay, you can see there's a lot of seeds in there. Just kind of scrape them out like that. And then same thing with, toss those in the blender. Same thing with your jalapeños. You can choose or not choose to take out the seeds. You can just start like this, go from the bottom to the top, and that takes out most of the seeds just in one go. There we go, into the blender. Before you do anything else, make sure you wash your hands thoroughly after cleaning out the seeds from your peppers, especially those serrano peppers. You don't want to forget and accidentally touch your eyes, because that will burn. Okay, we are going to re-blend this, and again, start on a lower speed, work your way up somewhere to the middle. You don't want this to be completely liquid, okay? You still want some texture in there. So let's try to figure this out. Last but not least, I'm going to roughly chop a handful of cilantro. And even though this is going in the blender, I just start it just so that the cilantro stems don't get trapped in the blades. Add that to our blender. And we also want to add a little bit of salt, probably about a ½ teaspoon to start. And then we can always taste our salsa and adjust as needed. And for this last blend, really just on a low speed is all you need. Now we are ready to serve our delicious roasted salsa. Ooh, there's still a little bit of texture in there. I love it. It looks so good. And there we go. Our roasted salsa is done, ready for the tasting. You can see that we still kept some of that texture in there. It's not super chunky, but it's not totally liquidy either. So now let's taste it. Drop a like. Here we go. Super good, super flavorful. That first bite, you definitely get the roasted tomato flavor and the roasted garlic and onion. And then the longer it sits in your mouth, you start getting a little bit of that heat, but it's not too much, definitely not overpowering. If you wanted it spicier, again, keep some of those seeds in there. But for me, this is the perfect amount. And then at the end, you get that little hint of freshness from the cilantro. So all in all, I think this is a perfect, well-balanced salsa. Props to my mom for teaching me how to make this. And make sure you subscribe for future recipes. And comment below, besides chips and salsa, what else do you like to eat your salsa with? I know I like tacos, burritos, beans. You can eat this with so many things. This salsa is obviously still warm because it's fresh, but you can definitely chill it in the fridge. If you prefer to have a cold salsa, it's really good that way too. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on future recipes. And let me know if you want to see any other Mexican authentic style dishes on the Vegan Petite channel. And I will catch you next week. Bye. You want me to eat it?
Yeah.